All right. Hey, what's up, good people? My name is Sabelo Mzizi. I'm a content creator, filmmaker, and a producer extraordinaire. I'm based in South Africa and been toying around with the idea of starting a podcast back in 2019 sometime. I mean, I've been thinking about it for the longest of time, and I thought, hey, I need to act on that. And that's exactly what I did on August 2019 on the 14th, where I recorded a podcast, and I had my first guest by the name of Tweezy, a young producer who I feel represents me and what I did when I started off. I started off as a producer with ProKid. That kind of spawned me as well as a producer, and not just a super producer, and that started everything for me. That led to me getting into visuals, getting into that space. Now I'm back 360, and I thought to myself, so much has happened. I've learned so much, both as a filmmaker, both as a producer, as a content creator. I need to give back, and I need to kind of grow. I felt like I was plateauing, and I wasn't really doing much in the market, and I needed to kind of just re-energize, rebrand myself. And I thought the podcast is a perfect way to do that. And that's exactly what I did. So I wanted to give context before I let you people check it out. So with that being said, I forgot to mention, people, that the podcast is over an hour long. So I'm going to be chopping it up into about 5 or 6 parts so that people can enjoy it. Putting content together takes blood, sweat, and tears, and it would mean the world to me if you could subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. And your feedback is important, people, so let me know in the comment section what you guys think of the podcast. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, here's the Chef's Kitchen podcast. Welcome to the kitchen, Dwana. If there's anybody that could come and be my first guest, who could that be? And there was only one person, man. I feel like, this is like, Omen 2.0 type shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? For real, like, I feel like, for those that don't know who this is, by the way, this is Tweezy. The streets know him. We've heard him on the AKA records, especially 2014. I think that was kind of good year for you.
Pretty much my launch year, my introduction year.
Yes. I know you jumped off heavily off that AKA collaboration and you giving him stuff. For those that don't know, who is Tweezy, man?
So for those that don't know me, I go by the name of Tweezy. Tumelo Thando Wihla Mathebula. Gama nesibongo abanginika lona endlini. It's been a long since. It's been, how old am I now? 26. Yeah. 26-year-old boy from Jangalala, Soweto, same hood as Pro. Rest in peace to Khutmani. It was icons like him and just many other legends and icons that have been doing kwaito and just urban music for black people who are situated in our circumstances in Malokshini, that kind of grew like a passion of just music overall within myself. So I just started off just mainly being a music enthusiast, just being a person who enjoys music, that recognizes it very well and likes to talk about it, likes to eat with it, sleep with it. My life just really started rolling around music just from that point. And then once upon a time, I just felt like, okay, cool, I need to make this music passion a real thing. I need to make
it work.
Yeah, make it come alive. So
I read on Wikipedia though, Bati, you thought FL Studio was a
video game. I genuinely did, because
how was that though? Like,
I mean, at the time I was very interested in graphics and games.
Okay.
So that was just the only thing. The same way I regarded music, graphics and animation and games was pretty much like the next guy, or the guy that was like on par with just my interests.
Okay.
And I was attending the National School of the Arts at that time. And, everything was just arty-farty, graphic, everything. So I was playing a lot of games at the time. So one day, FL Studio was introduced to me, and I thought it was a game.
Which version of FL Studio did you start on?
FL 3, the one Java. That one.
There where they projected from.
Yeah.
Yes.
That
That's where I
file.
started from as well.
So that project file was what actually got me to know, Guti, oh flip, this is where people
It comes
actually
from, yeah.
this is where people make the music. Because before it was a game and I was like, hey man, come on, like there's no next level, there's no
there's
okay,
nothing.
when does it end?
It's like I'm stuck on this level. Jay.
Yeah,
Like,
then I started opening like demo projects. and then I bumped into that thing, and then I'm like, wait a minute, Java. Oh, then I went to the internet cafe at school. Then I found out that Bo Timberland are using it. He used it for also you try again, Aliyah,
yeah.
There was a demo project on that version,
yeah.
and then other songs too. So at that point, then it just hit me, Guti. Wait a minute, this is now my music dream. Actually, now this is where it starts. This is it, you know. So yeah, at that point, I mean, I was making a whole lot of whack beats, but I was really proud of it. So proud that if people told me the beats were whack and stuff, I'd be hurt, and I'd go to the internet cafe and like research dope producers. There's a guy still killing it even now, Vibe Beats. He's like one of the big guys, really, in the internet
online
space. With both Johnny Julian. At the time, there was a SoundClick where you could just make beats and put it on SoundClick. It's like a Airpit now,
it's like a OG's platform for selling beats online.
Yes.
Yeah, for those that don't know.
Yeah, so obviously you could download the free beats with the tags and everything. So I used to download the heck out of those beats, and I go back to school like, yeah, what do you think now? This me on this joint. And then people would praise me and they'd be like, wow, this is fire. Until another guy, shout out to Dante, he came to
so
the
he basically pretty much knocked your hustle.
Pretty much. Not really. He exposed my fraud.
No, that's what I mean. Like when he's not
umpazisile, because he was in in-course departments. In-course departments was pretty much like the music department, but for people who are specifically trying to venture into the music industry, trying to be into production and everything. I tried to be in that course and my family wouldn't have it. Anyway, that guy came through. So yeah, na umthole guy, this Vibe Beats wa corner. And he's like, oh, so you produce those beats, yeah? How come I've got this beat of yours? And this beat, and this beat? And then my fraud was exposed. I was very hurt. And I was like, okay, you know what? I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to be better than this Vibe guy. And I'm going to get respect from all these people. And my mission took off.
Isn't that amazing when you, in those moments, that's when it's like, moments where, I mean, it's like anything in life. You can either choose to say, well, I was a fraud. Hey, man, kudos to that, on to the next thing. But you're like, hey, I'm actually going to make this work, you know, which is life in its essence, that, you know, you're going to try something and it's going to come back and bite you real hard, you know?
I don't even know why, because, like, my ego was bruised. I mean, I should have just said, yo, F everybody and whatever. For some weird reason, I just felt like I had a point to prove, and it's just been my thing, just a whole lot in the industry. I mean, even till current date, like, even if I can accomplish the greatest accomplishment there is to it, I'll still find something that makes me feel like I've got something to prove. So at that point, I was bunking a lot of school. I'd rather be at the internet cafe and at my friends'. I started friending people that had computers just for me to be able to just put in this FL Studio demo, just make a beat, bounce it, delete it type thing, just to have a young catalog. Super whack catalog, but I mean, you know, practice makes perfect.
So you didn't have your own system at home?
No, I didn't have my
PC.
I didn't even have my own PC up until literally in the midst when I started working with AKA, like right before the music came out. So we'll say so late 2013, early 2014.
And that's like, wow, man. That's incredible. I mean, obviously, you know, we all have different circumstances, you know. And I'm glad you brought up Vibe Beats, because, you know, we've had our chats, you know, and I was like, you know, I feel like that's where the future is. I mean, right now it's very saturated. For those that don't know, I mean, there's an online community or producers that predominantly sell beats online. What are your thoughts about that? I mean, what do you think about that whole hustle? And as Tweezy, is it something that you're getting into? What's going on there? or you've tried it and
First and foremost, that's the future for producers. Like for the first time, well, not really the first time, but now more than ever, producers don't need to be affiliated with artists or people that are in relationships with artists and whatever,
with labels,
to pursue a career in being a producer. You could just be a composer that's making samples, and you could just be the best at that. Like you've got people in the States, like you've got your Boy Wonders and your Vinyls, and then there's people in their teams like Abo Q Beats and Abo, what's the other guy, Frank Jukes, people that literally make compositions for the sake of just making compositions
for other producers.
Yes, and
the producers for the producers.
The producers for the producers. So they make the sample kits and the whatever the case is, and they provide it to them. In return, they get like money, they get publishing and such things. And you find that those people, when Drake is winning Grammy, Boy Wonder's out there getting that Grammy,
that
but
shine,
Frank Dukes is also getting that Grammy, Q Beats is also getting that Grammy, and it's like, okay, there's so many producers out here getting Grammy'd, like, this is amazing.
Getting plaques. It's amazing.
Plaques, like now it's gotten to a point where it's almost impossible for producers to get recognition and validation for the work that they do. Because like before, I mean,
Are you saying it's impossible now to get validation?
No, I'm saying it's impossible for you not to get validation.
Oh, okay. All right.
Like, people will give you like your respect and your dues, like just naturally. Before, you know how it goes, man. Like, producers weren't really seen as people to be acknowledged. Like, it was all about the artist. It was about the people who put the music out. Nobody really thought about the producers and the engineers. At least the producers also, they had a little voice. Engineers and like such people didn't even have anything, and for the first time now, it's like it's even possible now for us as producers to now get together and have these conversations and grow a new culture of producers and just open a new market of just growing this whole phenom of just making music and composition and production, or whatever you may call it.
Are you selling music online? Well, beats predominantly. I mean, obviously music, there's streaming platforms now in the 9s, but is that something you're doing now? Or, I mean, you've put out a beat tape. You put out a couple. A couple. I know I've just bumped the latest one. I forgot the name.
God Level 3.
God Level, yes. The one with, there's a beat, man. It just reminds me of a TKZ, Joe. Like, Mangi Mamel and J. Just TKZ jumps into it. It's almost like a quieter itch. It's got these chords,
2001. Yep, because 2001.
That got me wilding. I was chilling out waiting for Utaso at his house, dog, and I'm bumping your beat tape. And then that beat came on, I had goosebumps. I was like, this is definitely God level, Yeah, man. So what's the deal with that? Like, you put out a beat tape, and then what's the story there?
Just to answer your first question of am I selling beats online? No, but I should. Okay. I mean, it's more of a time thing. I mean, I've also ventured into being an artist. I've ventured into also just being a student of the game, understanding how the whole picture comes together, just for me to be able to adapt into what I'm trying to get to do. But I should. Saying that to say that producers, like, they definitely should be selling beats online, because that's even the easiest way for them to get recognized. And like in the States, you've got people like the Internet Money Gang, you've got Cash Money AP, and all those dudes who are they literally take their beats and they put it out on YouTube, and now artists are at a point
and they're getting placements though.
Yeah, because it's just as easy as now Drake will go into YouTube and say Drake type of beat, and then he'll bump a beat. If it's not the one, it's not then he'll find a beat, he'll be like, whoa, that's the one. He does whatever it is. Then when it's time for accreditation and publishing and everything, they'll get a hold of the guy, and now that guy didn't just get $500 or whatever that's what money is. We're actually talking about Lil Nas X and that other guy who sold his beat for $50,000, but now imagine the crazy royalties he's gonna get now.
Yeah, I mean $50. Who that boy from France who produced Old Town Road? It's crazy. I mean, Bona, they were just, I mean, I think Lil Nas was very deliberate with what he was trying to do in terms of even the hustle. I mean, this boy, number one, people need to understand his background. This boy, Lil Nas X, used to basically hack Twitter accounts. And when I say hack, I don't mean like underhand stuff. He grew pages on Twitter and he had super engagement. So he knew what works on social media. So there's this page.
So social media is his thing.
It's his thing. So he had this page, Nicki Minaj something. It was like a fan page. But he got a lot of stuff to go viral just off that page. He was sitting on like 140 odd followers, 1,000 followers, and his page got taken down for some reason. But all those skills then he had transferred into pushing Old Town Road. So he started with the memes, pushing memes for months. Then he went on TikTok. Then that's when he hopped on some challenge, some Yeehaw challenge. And that's it. From there, as they say, the rest is history, which is something that, for me, number one, this particular platform, this podcast is really about, that's what it's about for me, is trying to uncover those ways and tactics that producers specifically as well, even artists can apply the same principles, so that people can actually have a livelihood. I think our biggest problem as well is that as producers or even as artists, we're always chasing to be the biggest thing, whatever. When there's people who are literally having a decent lifestyle, you buy a house off this thing, you are living at. We're not all going to be the Jay-Z's or the Ed Sheerans or the AKAs of this world, but we can still earn a living. And that's what people it's either that or nothing. And I think it's a false way, or it's a horrible way of looking at the internet hustle, Yeah. And I want to share those ways. And obviously now I'm pursuing that. I'm learning in the process. So it's kind of like a journey that I want to take. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I think right now, given what's happening now in South Africa, what do you think of the state of, hip hop right now in South Africa, and where do you think it should go?
If there's one thing for certain,